Hello and welcome to Pokésports, a competitive Pokemon podcast. I'm Mike and I team build with all the Pokemon that I want in my team.
I'm Kevin. I have no witty intro today.
Oh, that's
which
a shame.
Itself is a witty intro.
I mean, that's fair, but like you have a week, and like I'm sure, like me, you don't think about it until 3 seconds before you actually say it. So,
Mike, we have a week to write these notes, and we still don't do it.
That's true. That's true. We have a week to write these notes, and these notes get down like 4 hours before the podcast.
They've gotten smaller and smaller as the podcast progresses.
Today we don't have like much to write notes on, though, do we?
No, we're building, boys.
We're building today,
building.
folks, because we are approaching really, really fast the Crickety Crown Tundra. Today, of course, if you are listening to us live on Twitch, you are currently in the middle of National Chocolate Cupcake Day. But you know what? The picture I put is there, but it's also National No Beard Day. So Kevin, I'm celebrating my own way.
Oh, I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah. I actually live a National No Beard life. So
hold on, I got a solution, guys.
No. Oh God, no. It's the worst. Kevin pulls out scissors. Oh geez. Oh yeah, it's National Chocolate Cupcake Day. So go and make yourself a National Chocolate Cupcake. National style.
I want a national cupcake. Mike's is red and white. Kevin's is red, white, and blue.
I play with one cupcake on the field. It's also National, well, I guess if you're listening to this on Wednesday, October 21st, it is National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day. I know a lot of us working from home, maybe getting that cluttered desktop. Kevin, you've seen my desktop a couple times after I make these notes and these slides that I put up. My desktop can get pretty nasty. What's yours like?
So here's the thing with these national holidays. I somehow am doing all of them wrong.
Yes.
I have a beard. I didn't eat a cupcake today.
Nope.
And you don't want to look at my desktop. It's actually really bad for me because remember my computer broke not too long ago and I had to reset everything.
Yeah.
It's just reverted back to its original ways. It's just gotten bad.
Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's okay. That's a great wallpaper, by the way.
Yeah. I can send it to you.
I kind of want it, yeah. It's better than this Pokésports one I have right now.
Oh, you have a Pokésports background?
Yeah, because I'm a real gamer, dude.
We should put one out. We should put out a Pokésports background.
We have them available. We just don't share them. You guys want them?
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. We'll put that on Discord. So if you're in the chat right now, just type !Discord, or if you are listening on podcast providers or on YouTube, you can go to one of our YouTube videos and just check in the description because all of the links are always there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's cool. Anyway, October 22nd is National Crown Tundra Day, and that's what I've just decided. So that's Thursday. Everybody, you best be celebrating with us because we'll be celebrating that one all night long, all night. Right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm not going to bed.
That's the thing, right? Like we're assuming that it's going to come out on midnight between the 21st and 22nd, and no sleep. Team no sleep.
Do you remember what it did for Isle of Armor?
What did you do
for Isle of Armor? No. Like, did it come out at midnight?
I don't remember. Like, man, I feel like it came out in the morning and we just played it all morning. Or did it come out that evening or the evening before? I don't even remember what we were doing. It's such a blur. It's like three months ago.
Yeah. Like I don't remember what happened yesterday.
Mike. Yeah. No, exactly. Are we planning on streaming Crown Tundra? Yeah, we're planning on streaming that one as much as we can. Obviously it won't be competitive for a little while because we're going to need to get through the game and get our Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely going to be streaming that one. Just probably not between 9 to 5 because neither of us have time. Yeah. But in other news, in Smogon news specifically, nothing. Just nothing.
Pretty much.
Like everyone, like what are you gonna do, right? Like it's 3-4 days before Crown Tundra comes out. Like, are you going to make any new tournaments with like these Pokemon being introduced, later on? Probably not. Are you going to make your showdown tournaments like with like probably not. Just you're not going to do it. So everyone's kind of on their edge of their seats before Crown Tundra comes out. So basically no changes this week. However, I couldn't bring myself to delete this image or this image from the National Dex episode last week. So of course, if you haven't listened to my little bit on the National Dex and how many Pokemon are actually banned from it, yeah, this is what you're missing. And I think I'm going to make this my desktop background.
How long did it take you to put that together? The 18 Arceus, every legendary Pokemon, and a big old Dracovish.
Dude, it took me minutes. Oh man, it took me minutes.
It took him a whole minute. Wow.
Yeah, for real.
That's a long time.
We're moving that weekend. Oh no. Oh, I see. Joanna comes in and she's like, but we're moving on that weekend. No, Crown Tundra comes out this week, this Thursday. Next month around this time, we're going to be moving. So there's that. In non-Smogon news, in Pokemon news, get yourself a Unova Cap Pikachu by using the code PikaBestWish with all of the I's being ones in your receive from internet mystery gift. You can get a Pikachu. You can also get a Pikachu with a Kalos cap by typing in Kalos Pika with the O as a 0 and the I as a 1. So yeah, hey, this is actually the 6th of 8. There are going to be 8 Pikachus released between now and November 30th. The next one's probably going to be the Alolan Pikachu, which is probably going to be Alola Pika with the O being a 0 and the I being a 1. And the one after that, probably going to be Galar Pika with the I being a 1. For some reason, they don't make the A's 4s, and I don't understand it.
Because that'd be too confusing, Mike. Because then you'd have to say, with the A's as 4s, the I's as 1s, and the
yeah, exactly. Kalos Pika is, yeah. Ro said in the chat, Kalos Pika is the most lazy of the codes, right? Like Pika Best Wish was cool because like I think the Japanese version of Black and White's Pokemon series was called Best Wishes, and so it's an homage to that, which is kind of neat. But what was the Kalos series one? Probably not Kalos. Tell you that much.
I think Pikachu is not that great.
Of a Pokemon?
Because you can't Gigantamax this one. Like, yeah. What do you do with this?
Right?
I don't like it. I mean, it's nice to look at. They're special.
You can still light ball it.
Yeah, you can still light ball it and watch it die. Like, what else is it going to do? You can sash it.
You can
get one fake out off.
Why would you? No, I would not sash a Pikachu. If you're going to sash a Pikachu, you might as well just not run a Pikachu.
I like that second option a lot better.
I just wish that all of these Pikachus like could evolve into Raichus wearing those hats.
There was some more Pokemon news though. They released a Japanese Crown Tundra trailer. Did you watch it or get a chance to watch it?
No, I didn't. Tell me about it.
So essentially what it was is it was a Japanese TV show and they were playing the game early. We learned a couple of things, like biggest news ever, Stantler's in the game. Which is actually pretty interesting news because Stantler wasn't in the data mine when Isle of Armor came out, so it looks like they added more Pokemon that weren't in the Isle of Armor, which greater influences the fact that maybe Crobat is just getting Tailwind as a move.
You need to put in Stantler though. Stantler like needs to be in the Crown Tundra. You're not going to make a Christmas themed game without your reindeer.
Yeah, that kind of doesn't make any sense,
right?
Huh?
I mean, clearly Crown Tundra in and of itself was an afterthought, else they would have Dexited Delibird and brought it back during Crown Tundra.
No, that Delibird was so good, they brought it right in the base game.
Right?
Yeah, so other things we learned is with the whole max raid thing.
Yeah.
The way it's going to work is there's going to be multiple levels. It's going to be like, Mystery Dungeon has different floors. There's going to be different floors.
This part I heard. And then at the end of it, you're guaranteed to get the legendary.
Yeah, you're guaranteed to get a legendary. You're also guaranteed to get the capture 100% of the time if you can defeat the legendary.
Yeah.
But you can only capture it once.
Right. So
So
it's going to be very, very dependent on your hyper training, very, very dependent on your nature mints, very dependent on your bottle caps. In some cases, very dependent on the ability patch. So there's no the toughest part, and this was actually said by Tofu in the Discord earlier, that it's going to be most difficult for you if you're trying to catch a Pokemon that you want to use in Trick Room. So one that you're trying to get no speed from. That's going to be difficult.
I mean, we could always just bring in the legends from Sun and Moon, right? And then just battle ready them and be okay. I mean, there's always that option. People were like, "Oh no, we can't get shiny legends." I'm like, guys, you could shiny hunt in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Just go do that. Game's not
That's very true. Yeah. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon actually made shiny hunting for legendaries actually pretty easy, right?
I kind of like that they're kind of not making it easy to get shinies for legends. Like legends are supposed to be special. Like those should be very hard shinies to get, right?
It's not supposed to be like, oh, I didn't get it. Turn off my game. Do it again. Like, ugh. Especially not when you're doing it with 3 other people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, that's gonna suck if we have people who are doing that who are going with us.
Oh, they're trying to shiny hunt their legend.
They're trying to shiny hunt their legend, and they like disconnect us after 3. Like, oh, thanks.
I think they're just gonna turn off shinies. They're probably just gonna turn them off. She'd be like, hey, these are shiny locked. Yeah, just don't bother, guys.
I would hope so. All right. So with Crown Tundra coming up incredibly soon, one of the biggest things for us as a channel and for us as a service to the people has been team building. One of the biggest things we do on the YouTube channel is we give out rentals and we give out Poke Pastes for people to use on Showdown and Cartridge. And so going into Crown Tundra, one of our priorities is, again, trying to create those teams that are viable. Now, Kevin, you've been doing a little bit of training, practicing yourself. And you have come up with a couple of great ideas for teams. And today, I would like to make one for me and one for you.
I like this.
That is what we're going to be doing today. It was kind of a tradition, I guess. We did it at the beginning of Isle of Armor. We did it at the beginning of the base game. So let's do it now. For this, I have set up Shablam. Let's hope this works. There we go. I have set up a few screens for us to take a look at, all from, of course, our favorite website to look at stats and team build and damage calc, Pikalytics, Pikalytics.com. This is right now. On the site, they don't have the Series 7 functionality, so they don't have all of the mons in yet, because not even we know all of the mons that are in the actual game. I previously said that Gliscor wasn't in the game, and now I'm scared that it's going to be. So we're going to use what is it that I'm using? The National Dex format to actually put together a team, because it's basically the same thing. Now, if you're already, if you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on Twitch, you'll see that right now I have 4 Pokemon entered in the Pikalytics team builder. And this is actually from suggestion of Kevin earlier today. I've put in Tornadus, Politoed, Kartana, and Kingdra. Folks, we are going to be making a Series 7 rain team. It's just something that I, for whatever reason, fall into every single 3 months is just, hey, what's a rain team I can make now? So let's get that going. With these 4, Kevin, you actually suggested that I put these 4 in. Tell me about why we've gone and done that.
So Mike likes Kartana. Mike has been a fan of Kartana for as far as I can remember, which is a couple days. Kartana is a broken Pokemon. Like it's really strong because it has base 181 attack stat. If we go all the way back to VGC 18, it was like the number 4 most used in like 42% usage, which is really ridiculous. Back then, it used to get Tailwind. It doesn't get Tailwind anymore, but what it does get access to is a Dynamax Airstream, which is pretty much all you need. That paired with Beast Boost and stuff, then that's a little disgusting. And rain just helps it. I mean, Kartana is very weak to fire. It's grass steel type, so rain helps it. At least would knock it down to a 2x weakness. You still probably don't want to take a fire move from a special attacker, but hey, at least you have that little bit of assurance with the Politoed. And by giving yourself the Politoed and the Kingdra, then you just have 2 Pokemon resisted to fire. One is 4 times resisted to fire, so you have a very safe switch in there.
Right.
Tornadus is there because Tornadus works very well in rain because it gets access to Hurricane, and it also gets access to Priority Tailwind with Prankster, which is really nice as well.
So that said, Tornadus is one of the Pokemon that is not going to be ability patched in this one. We're not going to be using Defiant on this at all.
Not this team, no. I think the Prankster Tailwind is more worthwhile, in my opinion. Defiant is nice, but looking at our team right now, we don't actually have that many physical attackers, so we don't fear the Intimidate too much. And the thing with Kartana, you get intimidated, you're still 181 base attack Pokemon. Right. It's like, oh, okay. Nice.
I mean, to put that in perspective, if you go and use a Intimidate on Kartana, that just cuts the attack in half, bring it down to what, 90 base, 90.5.
Well, it cuts the final stat in half, so whatever the final stat would be.
Yes. Which
isn't exactly 90 base, but it's somewhere around there.
You can kind of assume if you're going by the Kartana's 181 base, if you're going in saying that, then it's, you can cut it and say the exact same thing. But yes, you will always have the max attack spread on that. You'll have an attack item that will boost that even more. But yeah. That said, let's get into, before we get into really anything else, past the delving into the Tornadus, the Politoed, Kartana, Kingdra, we need to find 2 extra Pokemon that we can put on this team. And for this, I'm going to open this up and move on over to this screen. We have our type matchups that you can see on the bottom of any of the team builder screen. So right now, it looks like we have a strong amount of steel resistance, a strong amount of water resistance, obviously, but not a lot of dark, ghost, ground, poison, or flying.
Looks like we also have like a 2x weakness to electricity that we probably should cover. And I was going to say maybe a Volt Absorb or a Lightning Rod user, or even just like a ground type is perfect for that spot. You also have a little bit of a fighting problem, but that can easily get fixed too.
Yeah, that's true. We do have a little bit of a fighting problem. Do you think this might be the time to toss in a ghost?
We could toss in ghost. It would give us a weakness to ghost and another weakness to dark.
Plus a fighting immunity.
What looks really nice here can honestly... Fighting immunity, I mean, we could just have a flying type in that spot, but we kind of already do have a flying type.
Yeah, in Tornadus. So
what if we...
Interesting thing for me right now is just that, that Politoed, Kingdra, Tornadus, the 4 Pokemon that you put in there, they complement each other really well. And so I'm hesitant to put in another Pokemon that benefits from rain, just because that leans way too hard on Politoed. So
we can actually do a fairy type.
Oh,
fairy type can also deal with that.
All right.
Like, what if we lean towards Cocoa, resist electric, and
also
resist fighting? Hello, Cocoa.
There's an idea. So now we've got Taboo Cocoa in there, with obviously the ability Electric Surge. However, I can
very hyper offensive team right now. That's good. That's how I like it.
Huh. Okay. Well, strange. Okay. So we've got Taboo Cocoa.
And that's actually nice because it's not actually weak to steel either. So we still maintain that very strong steel resistance, which is great for this meta.
Yes.
Because there's steel types everywhere. Now what are we looking at for
matchups? Let's go back to that.
Yeah.
So again, we still haven't touched anything in the ghost category. We have a psychic resistance, but not really anything that deals with psychic types. Now, obviously, this will change once we add our move spreads, but just in terms of things that resist attacks, we've got no resistance to poison, no resistance to ground, no resistance to ghost. We added a dark resistance, though, in Taboo Cocoa, so that's pretty great.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah. Resistance to Ghost. Um, Resistance to Ghost and Psychic. That's a dark type.
That's a dark type.
What are good dark types? I mean, you have your obvious T-Tar. That's all. That's really good. I don't think it fits this team though.
That's actually a ground weakness. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. You don't want T-Tar on a rain team. Makes no sense.
Right. Can we think of any steel dark types?
Steel dark type. The only one I can think of is Bisharp.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how strong that'll be this meta.
I'm not holding out anything for Bisharp.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. I mean, no, if I love Bisharp, but no offense.
Yeah.
Bisharp, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it's a
number one way to get Tofu get Tofu talking.
Yeah, it's just Bisharp.
Bisharp. Yeah. Dark flying.
I mean, you have your boy Incineroar. If you want, you
do have your boy Incineroar. Incineroar in the rain.
I mean, to be honest, it's so tanky it might not matter.
But yeah, that's true.
You're just kind of faking out and pivoting. We could look for more dark types though. You have options like Alolan Persian, which is pretty good. You have
that's an interesting one.
Alolan Persian is not that bad.
We don't have a ton of utility, so Persian actually to me makes a lot of sense. I can't open Taboo Cocoa's ability, but that's okay. We don't need to open anything for Taboo Cocoa. People can kind of assume what Taboo Cocoa is going to be. So this is Technician.
Switch screens. I can't see.
Yeah, nobody can. Whoop. We won't be able to see. It's either Fur Coat, Technician, or Rattled.
I think it's Fur Coat for here.
Okay.
Fur Coat gives us more defense. Make us a tanky boy.
Okay. So we have a tentative 6, right? We've got Tornadus, Politoed, Kartana, Kingdra, Tapu Koko, which people were saying the Tapus just don't work on Pikalytics. All right, good to know. And Alolan Persian.
I like it.
To me, this looks like a pretty decent team. And again,
a lot of utility.
Let's take a look at the type matchups one more time. So we're lacking a resistance to poison and ground, but we've got resistances for everything else. We've got pretty heavy weaknesses. By that, I mean 2 in fighting, electric, and fairy.
Something worth noting is that the poison and ground, even though we have no resistances, we have 2 immunities, so we're still good in those departments.
That is true.
We have the steel type and we have the flying type.
Oh, you're absolutely right. So we have something that counteracts those elements. That's neat. Yeah, we've got a bunch of immunities. We've got a bunch of stab effectivenesses.
We didn't add moves
but that's
yet.
Obviously once we add moves, that's going to change. Okay. So with that said, let's go back to this screen here. And let's add in some moves. Yeah. So Tornadus obviously has Tailwind. We want to put Hurricane because this is a rain team, and why wouldn't you? I'm seeing that 56% usage in National Dex for Defog. Now, again, National Dex, this is talking singles, but would you consider Defog on Tornadus?
I personally would not, because Defog's more of like a singles, like for Stealth Rocks and stuff. I don't think
that's fair.
Screens are going to be too prevalent.
I would propose Heat Wave. Now, yes, we're going to be in the rain, but it does add a little bit of fire coverage. And looking ahead at the other Pokemon on this team, I don't think we're going to get that.
That is a good point. It would help us against like very hard fire teams, like a Ferrothorn and friends. Would help us a lot in that department. I think honestly, Heat Wave is probably fine.
Okay.
And I would probably make the last move either Rain Dance or Protect. Rain Dance for secondary setting, because Weather Wars are going to probably be a thing.
Right.
You have the introduction of, Tyranitar and Torkoal back into the game.
Yep.
So that's just a way to make sure that, hey, you can swap in your setters all you want. I still have Rain Dance.
Right. Now, there is the option of removing Heat Wave entirely and putting in Protect, but let's come back to that after, see if we're making any kind of changes there. So for Politoed, I think we can probably say that it's pretty standard. I think Icy Wind is one that people typically put on a Poly, right?
Yeah, you could do. Some people either run Icy Wind or Perish Song. I started off with Icy Wind, but I've slowly been converted to a Perish Song.
Really?
it's so convenient sometimes, you know? It's like really nice when it happens and you're just like, okay, I can just hit Perish Song and
Right.
guarantee my victory and just completely ruin my
Oh,
opponent's
there are
morale.
2 Pokemon on their side? Okay.
Perish Song, done.
So obviously we're going to be putting in Protect on Politoed. If we're putting in Protect, Perish Song, we've got to put in Protect.
Yeah, it's pretty much Perish Song, Protect, Scald, Helping Hand here. I think that sounds like the best option, just like a complete utility Politoed. It does give me the question, or do we have too much utility on this team? But I mean,
true.
We can worry about that later too.
Yeah, let's worry about that later. So Kartana. Kartana's a fun one because to me that's just Leaf Blade, Sacred Sword, Protect, knockoff.
Nah, you need a flying move there.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, we need Airstream. I think it's what Aerial Ace is what it gets.
Oh, you're absolutely right. So what are we taking away for that? Knockoff?
I would honestly take away Protect.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm thinking Kartana should probably be vested.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
We should probably vest it. Yeah, it doesn't get Tailwind anymore, so we have no reason to run anything other than vest. It could run Life Orb, but then you have no item on Kingdra.
True. And so that's obviously right off the bat.
We need a
Yep.
Or maybe we take off knockoff for Smart Strike just to have the Steel Stab.
Oh, you're right. Or sorry, knockoff. There we go. So we keep Sacred Sword, we keep Smart Strike. Very true. Gotta have that Steel Stab.
Yeah, it's a terrifying thing. What's great about Kartana is just like literally if you get 1 KO with the Aerial Ace, you get the +1 speed and +1 attack right after that turn. It's so disgusting.
Oh, that's beauty. All right, and then Kingdra. Let's make a Kingdra set. Draco, obviously. Hurricane, obviously.
I would go Absorb. Muddy Water. Absorb. Absolutely, man. The Absorb Kingdra.
Yeah, man.
How else are you going to hit water types?
So Draco, Hurricane, Muddy Water. Protect.
East Piece.
Protect. Also, attack. And then Tapu. We can't add anything, but I assume that it's got to be Play Rough, Rising Voltage. What else are we putting on Tapu? Protect.
I would actually not go Play Rough. I would go Gleam. Just make it all special.
True.
Just go Gleam, Rising Voltage. You have options like Taunt, which is pretty good. You also have options like Electro Web for slowing down your opponent. You also have, Protect, which is pretty decent. Doesn't get Skydrop anymore, which is kind of sad. Skydrop was actually very good on this Pokemon because it would essentially remove your enemy Pokemon from the game for a turn.
Yeah.
But hey, oh well. That's the world we live in now.
I keep having moments where I forget that Rising Voltage is a special move. Oh. For some reason, I'm always like, oh no, it's a physical, obviously, because it's Rising. You run into them. No, you don't. It's a special. Okay, but yeah, so Gleam makes a lot of sense there actually. And then Taunt, and what was the fourth one?
I guess Protect.
Yeah, that's fair.
We don't need Electro Web. We have like Tailwind.
Okay. And then now we're back at this Alolan Persian. And I feel like if I was looking at this team, I don't know if you've had these moments, but when you're looking at a team and you're using it multiple times, there are always like 5 Pokemon that I use 4 of, and then 1 Pokemon that I will never bring. And right now, Persian seems like that Pokemon that I would never bring.
I don't know. The more I look at it, the more I'm leaning towards an Incineroar. Incineroar will also open up that Heat Wave option to get rid of it on the Tornadus and make it a Protect.
Right.
Because we would have the Flare Blitz. Like, I think the thought process is like, oh, Incineroar is weird here, but we don't have to bring Rain all the time. Yeah. Like, we can literally just not bring it at all.
We have 2 Pokemon that are using Hurricane, but those are Pokemon that can Dynamax anyway.
And like specifically right now, like Incineroar is great with Burning Jealousy simply because of stat increases and weakness policies. Everyone's going to run, your Metagross and Bulldoze combination. Everyone's going to run more weakness policy combos.
True.
Burning Jealousy just ruins that right off the bat. It also allows you to run a special Incineroar with like Snarl and stuff.
True.
Which is irritating. Snarl, Parting Shot, and then probably Fake Out.
And fake out. Yeah.
And Incineroar is the like best utility mon, I think, in this position. It
Mm-hmm.
gives us so much versatility for the whole team. And
Yeah,
that's a rain team, folks.
that's a rain team for you. And so we'll put this together for you, and we'll try this out. Once Crown Tundra's out and we're all ready to go. This will be, I believe, the first team that I use. I may tweak it a little bit. And obviously we need to add the EV spreads. Like all I put right now is just Kartana, which I'm pretty sure is always going to be 252 attack, 252 speed, and 4 HP. Because like, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, pretty much. That's all you really do.
Mm-hmm. So we'll EV spread this. We'll fiddle around with it a little bit, and then you will see it on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
All right. And so with that is my team. When we come back from the break, we're going to get into Kevin's team. All that and more when we come back in just a second. This is going to be a long one, folks. See you in a bit. And we're back. Welcome back, everybody, to Pokésports. In the last part before the break, we went and created a team for me, a nice little rain team. And now it's time to build Kevin a team. And right now on the screen, all you can see is a good old fashioned Xatu sitting there with its psychic and flying. Now, Xatu is not going to actually be on Kevin's team. This is a placeholder because Kevin, who is going to be there instead?
Galarian Articuno.
And I've already gone and mentioned in Twitch chat on the break that it does have quite a few pretty relevant weaknesses. Obviously, you've got the rock weakness for Tyranitar's coming back, the ghost weakness for Dragapult. And upon mentioning that, we both kind of feel that Dragapult is a major threat for Galarian Articuno. So the question is, how are we going to get around that, Kevin?
We are going to scarf it.
Okay. So we're going to
also
add
because
a choice scarf.
We're also going to this with the assumption that Galarian Articuno stats aren't going to change, but they're probably changing. And the reason I say they're probably changing is because the weights change. And usually what happens is when the weights change, the speed tier changes. So Galarian Articuno is a lot lighter than regular Articuno, so it's probably going to be a little bit faster, but as it stands, we're going to scarf it. If for some reason they decide to give this base 142 speed like Dragapult, we're probably going to life orb it.
Right, fair enough. But it's probably safe to say that we're not going to be scarfing anything else on this team anyway, because you've not really been a fan of choice scarf for that.
Yeah, that's true. Only when it's necessary. I mean, I could also run Tailwind in this spot. I mean, I actually might run Tailwind. Who knows?
Kind of depends. But so that being said, if you're thinking of putting in a Tailwind user, which one would it be?
I'm trying to see if there's any Pokemon that get Brutal Swing and Tailwind right now.
Oh, Brutal Swing and Tailwind.
It does not look like Drift Blim. I could bring it back to the balloon.
Hey, Boom Balloon is back.
I guess it could be Boom Lele, Boom Cocoa.
Boom Cocoa. Oh,
I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be like the worst thing in the world. The option I think specifically for Galarian Articuno. See, now I'm reconsidering the choice scarf. I kind of just want to give it Life Orb or give it Weakness Policy and have myself proc it on my own since we have so many weaknesses.
Yeah.
So I actually want to say let's switch to Tailwind.
Okay.
Honestly, let's switch to a Tailwind user. Let's do Whimsicott. Whimsicott's still a great Pokemon in my opinion.
That's fair. So now we can actually remove the choice scarf from Zardacuno.
Galarian Zardacuno. Yeah, I think let's. I'm leaning towards Weakness Policy.
Policy. Okay.
Yeah. We gotta just find a way to crack it. What are my weaknesses again?
You got rock, you got ghost, electric.
Rock, ghost, electric.
There's
Shadow Snake would be the easiest
I'm
one.
working on this. Choose.
What are you looking for?
Weakness policy. I was looking at the moves.
Can't find the weakness policy move. Shadow Snake would be the easiest one. Maybe I don't think there's a Shadow Snake from like a fast mon.
Well, you've got Dragapult.
I don't want a Shadow Snake myself. That would be terrible.
Oh, I see.
To break my own weakness policy.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. It would need to be like kind of a weak one. Because I don't want to hurt myself too much. Dusclops is an option, yeah. I could run like dual mode.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
This might sound dumb. But that's usually how my
good teams are made, yeah.
Yeah, it's usually how my thought process goes. Oh, but then we can't have double weakness policy. So yeah, I was gonna say we stick the Dusclops, put it in a T-Tar, and then Prosper, but then we just have no necessity for weakness policy and Shadow Sneak again. This does change a lot. I honestly think Raichu with Brutal Swing here is probably the way to go.
Ooh. Brutal
Swing. Do Raichu with Brutal Swing. That also gives us the Lightning Rod, which is nice as well. So we can have our 2 support mons in those 2. And then see, we're gonna lack a dragon. We're gonna lack a dragon because we already have so many ice weaknesses. But there's also no way around those.
Mm-hmm. Well, then we're doing it like this. No, I can't do that. Wow. It's just straight up breaking on that. Meanwhile, Ashton Cox is rating our stuff right now. So we've got a...
Hey, Ashton. Thanks.
I'm going to put in an Alolan Raichu, but we all know what this is going to be.
We're in the middle of a podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Hey guys.
Putting a Whimsicott actually breaks the thing. Wow, that's annoying. I don't know. I guess from national decks, they don't have like enough data or something like that.
Anything goes?
Right? You would think. But then you go type in Whimsicott, doesn't work. But Xatu works and Raichu works, I believe. Yep. So we'll keep it on that for now, and then Whimsicott will be in there. What's like the closest Whimsicott? What's a Walmart Whimsicott?
Bulu. I mean, Bulu is arguably probably better than Whimsicott, but I'm sure there's data in there.
Exactly.
We're just going for the typings here, folks.
Exactly. We're making typings.
Okay, so we have the resistance to electricity. We have the Tailwind. We probably need a steel type somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think steel types. I'm leaning towards
Ashton saying put in a Rillaboom.
Another. I believe. Oh, Rillaboom over Bulu. I believe that Rillaboom is better than Bulu.
Oh, I see. No, he's saying Rillaboom. He's just calling it Bulu.
I think this is actually. Oh, I got an idea. We can do the Dracovish with Sandrush because that thing is broken.
Yeah.
We can do T-Tar with T-Tar. Being a T-Tar, and then we can do Excadrill. We could have a half Sand team.
You had it until the end there. How dare you? How dare you bring him back? How dare you resurrect the Excadrill? All right. So again, on screen right now, we have Xatu, which is going to instead be Galarian Articuno. So we've got Zardacuno. We've got Raichu. We've got Tapu Bulu, who is taking the place of Whimsicott because Whimsicott breaks the whole dang thing. Dracovish, Tyranitar, and Excadrill. Okay.
Is it sad I'm actually considering this to stay as a Bulu now? No, Whimsicott. I'm going back to Whimsicott.
Well, then you'd have to scarf the Xatu again.
Yeah, that's why I want Whimsicott.
All right, so let's go and check out the type matchups for this. So again, with our team fully created here, we have a large ground weakness in Excadrill, Tyranitar, and who would that be? Raichu.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, we have the 1 resistance and 1 immunity, so it's not as bad as it could be.
Right.
It's definitely tolerable.
Yeah.
Air Balloon's also an option if we are really desperate.
You would put that on Raichu?
I don't know. I would put that on somebody.
Yeah. Excadrill is a good user for it as well.
Mm-hmm.
We currently have no psychic weaknesses, which is awesome. No normal weaknesses, also awesome. 2 fairy, ice, water, fire, steel, and fighting weaknesses. That's okay. I think that's
because we have the
okay.
resistances for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we can cover it with at least one Pokemon, I think we're pretty solid. Our biggest problem is ice.
We're underestimating
ice is a
ice
terrible
a lot.
Typing. Well, ice is a terrible typing. I like how many Mamoswines are you gonna run into, right?
No, it's true. Probably true. And then a healthy amount of immunities. But so we're committing to the Sand Rush Dracovish, huh?
It's so good, dude. It's honestly disgusting. Like you're allowed to be faster than the Choice Scarf and give yourself a Choice Band at the same time. Like you don't even care that you don't have Strong Jaws anymore. It's terrifying.
Right.
And it's on every team. So use it or hate it. Pick one.
Absolutely. So let's put in the moves that we can, which is obviously going to be Raichu, Tyranitar, Excadrill, and Dracovish. We can't really put in anything for Tapu Bulu Whimsicott or for Galarian Zardacuno, but we can at least get the moves in for Raichu and those.
Mm-hmm.
So Raichu, are we faking him out? I can't add a move for Raichu. Let's move on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, this is my thought process for Raichu. We go for the Nuzzle, we go for the Thunderbolt, we go for the Fake Out, and we go for the Eerie Impulse. We give it a Focus Sash, and we call it a day. That Raichu does what Raichu does. It'll lower the enemy's special attack with Eerie Impulse. It'll Fake Out any potential Follow Me users or Tailwind setters first turn. It hits with its electric type attack. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I mean, I guess we could swap in that for like Rising Voltage. It all depends on how popular Coco's going to be.
Right. If
Coco's popular, then always Rising Voltage. If not, then I guess you might as well have the 10 base power from the Thunderbolt.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of Whimsicott, I'm thinking definitely Moonblast, Tailwind. Taunt, I think, is going to be a really big one. I think Taunt is going to be very popular and is definitely something you're going to want to be bringing.
Right.
Because, Stark types aren't as popular right now, and Trick Room setters are.
Plus, assuming that Galarian Articuno is going to be fast, not faster than what's his name? Dragapult. You're not going to need to Tailwind first turn all that often. Unless you see a Dragapult coming in. So the Whimsicott's great to, instead of set up that Tailwind, get a Taunt off on any other kind of Pokemon that you've got coming up, maybe a Trick Room user, maybe, another Whimsicott.
And I think since our Sash is taken up by the Raichu, a great option for the Whim can probably be a Switcheroo Eject button.
Yeah.
It helps us deal with that Brutal Swing Metagross thing that's happening, that Bulldoze Metagross thing that's happening. It's also helping us deal with Colossals if Colossals see a return, which I'm sure they will.
Right.
Anything that likes to hit itself or Dynamax, Eject button is just a great strategy against, and people really won't see it coming unless they're running Frisk on a Pokemon.
Right.
So I think that's a good option there.
Absolutely.
The Dracovish is standard. It's a Fish's Friend, Crunch, Protect. I guess we don't run Protect. We're running Choice Band. But just Fish's Friend.
But this is what you've been waiting for, being able to put a band on Dracovish and not having to worry about the speed.
And not feel bad at all. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be hilarious. Tyranitar is just there to set that up as well. So you can go and I would assume run as offensive as you want.
Yeah, I think I honestly want to swap the weakness pulses to T-Tar just because T-Tar is just a better user of it. And then I'll give just Galarian Articuno the Life Orb and call it a day.
Yeah, fair.
Just let it do its thing. Which kind of leaves us with the Excadrill. I guess that's where we stick an Air Balloon because I don't know what else to give it. We could Expert Belt it if we wanted, but I would rather Air Balloon it.
So if I give it that Air Balloon, then again, our matchups, that's not bad at all. We actually get a second ground immunity there, which it doesn't update it on the type matchups, but it's there.
It exists.
So that's good. I mean, that's good to know.
And also helps with the Excadrill 1v1. Like, he has to pop your balloon before he can go for the high horsepower, and you can just blast off high horsepowers at him from the beginning.
Right.
It's actually not terrible.
Now, big question. With our major ice weakness, what do we have to break that? Taboo. That's Taboo I'm looking at. But Whimsicott can't really do all that much. Excadrill, I guess, can.
Excadrill can hit it. T-Tar can switch into it and hit it. I think T-Tar's our answer to ice, if anything. Because rock, T-Tar can just Dynamax, not care. Because like most ice moves are either going to be like are probably going to be special. It's probably going to be an ice beam from water type, if I had to guess. Because it's usually how it is.
Right.
You have a couple of physical ice types, but they're not that great, if we're going to be honest.
Or a triple axle from a
that is
Serena.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which you have the
Serena,
Xatu for?
Yeah, not the Xatu, the Zardacuno.
Zardacuno, yeah. Can I nickname it? No.
Oh, that's a good point. I could also run Vest on Excadrill, but I'm leaning towards Air Balloon. I like the 1v1. I like Protect. I feel like I don't have enough Protect on this team. Another option that I'm thinking, if I'm going to switch something on this team, and I guess Mike can check for this, maybe we do the Dusclops in the place of the Excadrill, but that would just not give us a Steel type, which is why I kind of want the Excadrill there.
Yeah. You also kind of miss any kind of Steel coverage. Unless you're putting, say, like Flash Cannon on Galarian Articuno, if that works.
Another thing I also noticed, we probably shouldn't run Sash on Raichu if we're running a Sand team.
Maybe
we would turn that into the Vest there. Give Raichu the Vest. Instead of Aerial Pulse, we give it like Electro Web. It could also deal as a secondary speed control user.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm leaning towards that a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a team, folks.
That's
we got
a team.
Teams.
We got a team. So we've got my team, which is going to be the Rain team. We've got Kevin's team, which is going to just be Galarian Articuno and friends.
And Sand.
Yeah, that's true, actually. We're making a Series 7 Rain team and a Series 7 Sand team. Try saying that 7 times fast. Series 7 Sand team, Series 7 Sand team. I'm too good at that. All right.
Give up.
And that, folks, is going to be the podcast.
The podcast.
In the next episode of Pokésports Podcast, we are actually going to be in the Crown Tundra era. Whoa! A full year almost after we've started this podcast. We now have all of the Pokemon content. So episode 51, we're going to be able to talk about the Crown Tundra, and then 52. That's our year. That's our 52 episodes of Pokésports. One every single week for an entire year.
We did it, guys.
We did it.
We didn't skip a week.
And then we stop. We're done.
Then it's over.
No, it's not. It's never over. Pokésports 2047.
Yeah, you guys kind of locked us in now. We're committed.
Yeah, we're over.
Good job, guys.
Now. All right,
we
folks.
Can't leave.
Yeah, and if you want to see those teams, then of course head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Pokésports for those to come out shortly after the Crown Tundra does. We're going to try and get up to that as quick as possible. They're going to be the first 2 teams that we make. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at PokesportsPod or on Instagram at Pokesports Podcast. Of course, on Patreon as well at Pokesports Podcast, where you can participate in the league and see episodes a full day before they actually come out on podcast providers and on YouTube, as well as just fun stuff that goes on all the time, really. Want to give a big patron shout out to Ahmed, Alex, Dante, Elijah, Zach, Brian, Carlo, Colton, Lights Out, Lewis, Neil, Scott, Captain, Alex, Kale, It's a Secret, Jesse, Joseph, Kevin, Rowan, Martine, Ro Ixon, Robert, Spencer, Jack, a separate Jack that is different from the first Jack that I had just mentioned, Swede, Level 1 Pidgey, Chad, Christopher, Federico, Dreg is what I just said. Greg is his actual name. Jason, King Boo, LA Caveman, Ryan, Tristan, Perry, Ryken, and Tofu. Also to our newest patrons, Josh, Mallory, and Dustin. Big thanks to M- for every single second of every single piece of music you hear on this podcast. Make sure you rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It always helps out. Go and send it to a friend. You go and tell your dad about Pokesports. I think your dad would appreciate Pokesports.
If there's any reason to join the Patreon, it's to make Mike say a longer list than what he's just said.
Because I will
make him keep going.
I will make a separate podcast where I just say the names of people.
Oh,
and then I'll have to take water breaks.
In my mind, I'm like, Do we have to cap this eventually?
Nah.
Nah. We
Never.
go in alphabetical order.
Exactly.
We each split them up every week and they get 1 week.
Sacred and Fertile says it's the Patreon podcast. No, the Patreon podcast is on Patreon. It's called the Pokésports Post Game, where we talk about kind of whatever comes to mind. That's our banter podcast. So folks, again, I want to thank you. I don't want to make this outro too long, but thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, all of that good stuff. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.